Evening, welcome to another Darwin Innovation Hub presentation. This time on something I'm going to move pretty quickly through, but there will be a recording of this that I'll be able to put onto YouTube later that you'll be able to pick up. So if there's any things you want to go back and revisit, and there may be a few things because there's going to be some concepts you probably haven't come across before, such as things like web hosting and working with files within web hosting. But hopefully you'll pick it up as we're going, and you can always ask some questions in the chat as well. I'm Dante St. James, starting team manager at the Innovation Hub. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully this is going to be something that you might be able to be a little bit inspired by. And it all starts, as you probably could imagine, it's going to be something that starts with AI, right? So many things do now. And this is no exception. This is a chance for us to take a look at how we can generate a website in AI in the most basic way. It's obviously not going to be a highly complex website or something that's going to be in such a very extreme set of design rules and that. It's going to be something which is rather simple. So I've just opened up in front of you a ChatGPT window. Hopefully you can read what's on that screen and see what we're going to do here. What I'm going to do is ask it to do something that you can do as well. I'm using the equivalent of the free version of ChatGPT here. It's capable of doing some coding work. That's what we're going to do. We're going to essentially go into the world of code with ChatGPT, which is going to be amazing. So I'm going to do this plus here, and I'm going to use it here to go into, but down past all this and agent mode and all that, into a thing called Canvas. You've got access to this in the free version as well. Canvas is a place where you make things. It essentially turns ChatGPT into more than just a text tool. It turns it into a creative coding tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some instructions. I like to dictate my instructions to ChatGPT for these kind of things because I talk better than I type. So let's have a crack at that. I'd like to design a website for a lawn mowing company in the Palmerston area of Darwin in the Northern Territory of Australia. What I'd like to include on this website is a basic description of the services that the average lawn mowing business would provide, and have a key of 3 of those particular services highlighted on the homepage. Underneath that, I want a bit of a story, and you can make one up for now about the kind of background we have and the services we provide. I'd like there to be a little bit of a story that tells something about how we got started and how we got a passion for making sure that people's lawns are something they can be proud of. And then I'd like to provide some contact details and a form at the bottom. Probably not a form. Let's leave the form out. Just contact details, a phone number, an email address, and that's really about it for contacting us. I'd also then like to include some links off to some useful resources that someone might want to do if they were growing a lawn in the tropical north of Australia. So we can give them a little bit of something showing that we have some expertise, and we also could be trusted to give some kind of advice as well. I know you can't show actual images in this, so what I'd like to do is have some image placeholders in the hero section at the top and in the storytelling section as well. And please include, some image placeholders where the main services are described. So that's now just recorded everything that I said. It's transcribing that and getting ready to put it into text. It takes a couple of seconds to get all that together. I did say a lot, and I'm going to go. And it's now going to use this canvas to build us an area of ChatGPT that begins to write code. This is now calling it Palmerston Lawn Care, and it's starting to code that up. Now, I didn't choose any colors or anything like that. It's just going to come up with whatever it comes up with. But you can see it's starting to code up reliable lawn mowing services in the top end. Your lawn, our passion, keeping lawns neat, tidy, and beautiful all year round. Weekly or fortnightly mowing, crisp, clean edges for trimming, green waste removal, which is something which is pretty common in the Northern Territory in the top end. A bit about their story. I started with a father and son, the secondhand mower, and a passion for outdoor work. It's telling a little bit of a story that I asked it to tell. I didn't need it to be, correct. I just needed to think, here is some ideas. And you can see it's coding down here a bit more. So the hello, palmerstonlawncare.com.au, a phone number there. I don't know whose that is. And then you've got some links through to some helpful resources. That's all great. Most of us can't read code, right? So what we do is run the code up on the top here, and we'll see what this now looks like. So it's pretty much gone green. You can pretty much typically green for lawn mowing. It's given me my hero image placeholder. It's given me some regular lawn mowing here, some edge trimming, some green waste removal. That's pretty good. It's just done a very plain website. What I want to do though is I want to do a bit more. So sometimes what we'll need to do is to go into one of the better code parts of ChatGPT. So if I click on this one back here, close that off, and I want to change from ChatGPT 4.0 to one of the other models, particularly these better coding models, like the ones like O4 Mini, O4 Mini High, those ones. So I'm going to go O4 Mini. I don't really need to go high because it is pretty good at reasoning and coding. So I'm going to do this again. Please repeat this process in this new model and make the design a little more modern. Instead of one single column, use blocks of content so it looks like a modern website that's responsive on a mobile as well. So I'm just using plain language to talk this. I know what I'm actually saying, of course, because I've done websites all my life, but you'll be able to use similar kind of things like this. You may want to script it first. You might want to practice what you're going to say to it, or you just type it out. You can just type it out and just say something as simple as design me a website for this, for whatever the particular offering you want to offer. So it's now rewritten that website. Not a lot of code in there. Let's see what it's done. Run the code. And see, it's a lot better designed. It's got some more layout to it because I asked it in another version to do this. So I've used, and I think you've got pretty much got some access to O4 Mini in the free version as well. The free version ChatGPT has various versions, and they're all good for different things. O4 is a very good, 4.0 is a good writer. O3 is for what they call reasoning. You can't use that in here, but you can jump in these coding models, which are way, way better at designing a layout like this. And I can use these here. Look, there's links off to these places, Top End Lawn Tips. It's a really good little one-page website that's ready to go. Now I can then insert some images in there. So I'm just going to go off to the internet and find some images. So we're going to hero image, going to go man mowing lawn. Let's see, in images. Probably none of these are going to look particularly tropical, but let's just pick out this one, for instance. It's a licensable photo. I'm going to get the link address here. So the address for the image, or copy the image address is what I want. So what I'm going to do is go back into ChatGPT and I can find where that hero image is in the code. So I stop the code and I'm looking for hero. So I can just go search for hero and I've got hero image and I've got a bit of details here. It's got a background, CCC, all this sort of stuff. So what I want to do is go, look, I'm not a coder. I don't really want to understand how to run code. Show me where I can insert a bunch of links to place images in the placeholders. Again, I'm not expecting you to walk away from today and know all of this stuff. But I can do something even, much more clever. So it's actually showing me where they're all going to be. So we go, love your lawn. Okay, look what it's done. It's actually now put insert hero image URL below. So it's put that in place, ready for me to insert it in. So the image SRC means an image source. And in here is where we're going to put our code, our address. So I'm going to put that in there and hopefully it should work. Go there, replace that, and there we go. We've got our image link in there. Now I'm going to go down, insert regular mowing image. So this one again is where we're going to insert another image. Let's go off and find another lawn mowing image. We'll take this one. So again, I'm right clicking on this. Now you would normally not do this to images that are already on the internet because they will be copyrighted and not yours to be using. We're just only using this as an example for now. So copying the image address, popping back into ChatGPT, replacing that in there. There's a regular mowing here. We've got your edging image. So we're going to find an edging image. Now we could ask it if we like to, man edging lawn. Man edging lawn. We could actually ask it to be so much more helpful than what it's being right now. Because right now we're probably going, well, this is probably a little bit weirdly, inside coding language kind of stuff. Copy the image address again. I'm going to go back in there, put it in. But what we can do is just use it in plain English and say, please help me insert images into here. And it will guide you through that process of inserting the images in here. I can see in here, there's another one, the waste removal one. So I'm going to go green waste removal. Ideally, you'd have your own photos and in your own formats that you work in. That's a good one there. Let's grab that one. So we go copy image address once more, pop in and whack it in here. And we've got another one down here, a story image URL. So I'm going to go something about father and son or something like that, because it was a story about father and son. Father and son mowing. So it's going to be that, evocative image of dad and son doing the weekend gardening. There we go. Copy the image address here. I'll insert that one too. So your story image URL here. In it goes. Okay, I think we've got all our images in now. So what we want to do is let's go back and run that code again. And now we should see, I'm going to allow, it's going to ask you if I'm allowed to let it access these images. Yeah, of course I'm going to allow it. And now we've got all these photos placed in the correct proportions for what the design wanted. We've now essentially got a website, right? That's great. That's here on here. We can download that as a HTML file. That's great. What I like to do though is go into my web hosting environment. So I've bought some web hosting. Let's just say I've used SiteGround for this example. They've got a fairly simple interface. Well, simple for someone who's done it all their lives, I guess, but not simple for everyone. We can go into their file manager, which is on the site file manager. And then I'm going to go into one of these folders that I've pre-set up. I'm going to put one in, let's just say, and in this case, I'm using the public HTML folder because that's where the live internet folders are. I'm going to create a new folder within it called mowing and confirm. And what I can do is that file that I downloaded. So if I go into that mowing, where is it? Mowing. I've got an empty folder in there. I can upload that file I downloaded, the Palmerston Lawn website, and to make it a lot easier to sort of see, I'm going to rename that because that's a very long name in there. I want to rename it just to index.html. So just index. There's a reason why we call it index is because what I want to do and how web servers work is that we have a domain name, then you have a slash, and then you've got a folder name. We don't want to have to go reports.clickstarter.com.au/mowing/index.html. We want to sort of cut that index.html off. We just want to go, let's say, for instance, reports.clickstarter.com.au. We're going to go mowing. And this should show us our brand new website live on the internet. That's now live. That is a live website now showing online. Now, is it the world's most amazingly designed website ever? Absolutely not. But we've essentially deployed, designed, put content into a website all within 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Now, yes, I know what I'm doing here, so that makes a big difference. It does go a little bit faster. The reality is, though, with just the cost of web hosting, which can be for as little as $4 a month, instead of paying something like Wix or Squarespace or WordPress or any of those services to have a special website, you can do this. Now, some of these services like SiteGround do have their own web design tools. So they've got a WordPress thing here. You've got some other sort of things they've got in there, like other tools that will allow you to do things. Things like Hostinger have an AI website builder that uses something like ChatGPT to do very similar things. But let's just say you're not a technical person, but you got a bit of web hosting because you got it with your email account and your domain name through, say, GoDaddy or somewhere like that, who also have their own AI web builder built in as well. This is one way you can do it if you just wanted to generate something, even in ChatGPT, like we did, and you could do you could export that code, send it off to someone, do the download of that code, send it off to a web designer and say, this is what I'm looking for. And we did that all in 13 minutes. Now 15 minutes down, and we're considering other ways to do it. Now, this is not the only tool that allows you to do this. I can also do the very same thing by taking those words that I put in originally into ChatGPT. I'm going to go into another tool called Google's Gemini. And this is the free version of Gemini. So anyone who's got a Gmail address, you will have this free version as well, and some limited version of the pro version here. But we're just going to use the free version for the sake of illustration. I'm going to hit here in the canvas again, go here and go boom. Let's go. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to go into a canvas, a design interface, where I've now got all these same instructions to do that. And it's going to then do a very similar thing. It's opened up a sidebar and it's now going to show us as it's starting to code that website up. And when it's done, this one, instead of you having to run it, it will run itself. It'll automatically come up with a preview of that site that we've just designed. It'll be a bit different. It won't do the exact same site. It'll do something a little different. There you go. So it's giving me sort of placeholder imaging in the back, just like the other one did, but it's already gone on this free version and made it a multi-column design. So it's actually got a much sharper, much nicer design straight out of the box. We didn't have to tell it to necessarily do that. It's also gone and created different links through for tropical lawn care tips. So I think, Gemini does a better job of this, and I can do the same thing and insert all those image backgrounds in here. So those backgrounds will go in. So I can go again into that code and I can find where the code is for the images and replace them. So here we've got a hero placeholder image. If I go a little closer there, you can actually see it. So image hero placeholder, here we go, right here. And I've got this here as the placeholder. I can put in the same tools, the same things I had before, and create that same thing. I won't go into all that now because I want to move on and show you that this can be done in a variety of different tools. So that one is the version we will get in this. The Contact Us button leads straight down the Contact Us section at the bottom. Interesting, it put a little navigation on the top there, and I can click on Top End Lawns and it goes straight back up the top again. So it's created what, once you put those images in, quite an attractive little website. Now, can I create extra pages? I just tell it to. So I'm going to create a page for services, and it's going to then insert another page. So it'll go back into the code. In this case, Gemini just keeps the preview open as it does its work. But in this code, you can see it's now starting to code all over again. And it's going to create another page which is going to contain those services. And it's probably going to fill in a little bit of detail in there too on what those services happen to be. As you can see, Top End Lawns began with a simple passion, blah, 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 blah. It's doing all of that. Already finished. Let's preview it. And it's now got a services tab at the top, which I can click on and then goes into a page of the services and the team story. That's pretty awesome. I can then add another page for a range of resources and links to help people care for their lawns. By the way, I can also do a voice control in here too, but for the sake of this, I'm just doing a little bit here for lawns, and add icons and a description for each link. Because I want it to be more than just a link that says here. I want to give it a description, a bit of a rundown of what people will be looking at. So another page for a range of resources and links to help people care for their lawns. Let's see what that comes up with now. Again, it's going to go back in, start the code again from scratch. So it's going to wipe all this out and do another one. And it's going to take that first design, that second page services, and we're now going to have a third page as well, which is going to be, and look at what we are 19 minutes in. We've designed a website in ChatGPT. We've designed one here in Gemini. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all this code and I'm going to put this into the web hosting so we've got a real live website as well again. So we go, we've got our services, our resources. We've got our front page. It was the same before. Our services page, which we saw before. Now we're going to see our resources page, and it nailed it. Watering best practices. I can click on that and it will go somewhere. A story for the passion in the tropics, get in touch, all this kind of thing. Now, it hasn't actually linked off to anywhere. That's made a mistake. So what we'd do is say, these resources don't link to anywhere. Link them to appropriate sources of information elsewhere on the web. And this is the beautiful thing of this. It's like training an intern in what you want to do. You can tell it that when it's messed up and say, hey, you need to do this. You didn't get this quite right. Please give this another go. So we're doing that again. It's going to go back in. It's going to start refactoring all that code all over again with an our story section, et cetera, et cetera. And it's produced it into one great big file, which links through to different pages. The pages aren't separate files. They're all coded into this one thing. So it's written in a way that has a multi-page layout, but it's for just one set of code. So again, services, we saw those before. Let's see if our resources are any better. The watering best practices. Now it's gone off. It actually can't link out because it doesn't have a connection to the internet. But if I look down the bottom of the page here, I can see it's actually gone to an NT government link that it was trying to get to. So I go back to resources again. And if I was to go copy link address, I could go in here outside of and it's going to an NT government industry agriculture page, which currently can't be found. So I didn't do a very good search of that. So what we do, we just fiddle around until we get the right thing. Let's pretend that this is the actual thing we want. I'm going to go in that code. I'm going to go and highlight all of that code, copy it, go back into my web hosting, and I'm going to replace the code that's in this index file with the file from Gemini. I'm going to go save back into our address here and refresh it. And I need to clear some caching. Sorry, this is one of those little things you have to do when you're very quickly replacing things and you need to do it rather fast. Cache that. Let's go again. And now it's got our Google Gemini version of the same. And I could spend the time now and go and put those images in if I wanted to. What I'll find now is these resources links will now work. So watering best practices, it will go to the place it's supposed to go to. Choosing the right grass goes to the place that I told it to go to. It hasn't given us very good links, but this one, yeah, again, page not found because it's a knowledge cutoff was at a certain time. So I could then go find those things myself and replace those links with the right places to go. And that gives us our website there. Now I can do the same in another tool called Perplexity. Perplexity is one of my favorites. I really do like the Perplexity way of doing things. So I'm going to open up, get all that original stuff I got again. Now, mind you, we just use the free version of Gemini. If we use the pro version, it will give us another thing all over again. So I'm going to do a new chat with the pro version this time, which you get a limited amount of work, a limited amount of use of. I'm going to insert. Going to get my thing here to Canvas. Back in there, let's see what it does in Pro. And in Perplexity, I'm going to choose the thing I want. In this case, I want a thing called Labs. So Labs, create projects from scratch. Let's go that one. Click it. We're in Labs, and I'm going to go the same set of instructions that I gave all the others. Let's see what Perplexity does as well. So Gemini is often racing and doing its thing. It's using the more advanced creator now that does have a lot more features and a lot more ability to do more design. I could add more detail in there, and it would certainly translate that into what we're looking to build as well. In Perplexity is over here doing its thing. It's doing a bit of resources. The difference is with Perplexity, it goes and does a lot of research as well. So it's going to get those links right. Unlike our friend over there in Gemini, Perplexity really, really takes the correctness of things very seriously and really citing sources. So say, look, it's taking 5 minutes to go and gather those things and build it. So it's going to take a while. Meanwhile, Gemini over here has already built out its site. It's got a different layout again. It's got more colors going on. It's more calls to action. It's gone a little bit more design. It's certainly brought across all the services. So yeah, it's a little bit better. The story, the lawn tips, all that sort of thing. It's just done quite a very good design, actually. I can take that code again, copy it, take it over to our friend in SiteGround, back into the file manager. You're going to have to do that cache clearing thing again. I was speeding through this at the speed of light. Most of this stuff you won't need to worry about because you'll be putting it into probably a less sophisticated web host than what I'm currently working with. Let's refresh and get that new version. And now we've got our new website layout live on the internet at that address. So a big one-page website that appears with navigation at the top to go through to multiple pages, although it really is just the one great big long page. For the most basic of things, let's just say you're releasing a single book and you don't really need a lot of background information or blogs or anything like that. You just want to highlight the book that you're selling and link through it. This could be an option for you. If you are doing something where you're doing any kind of service, really, if it's a home service, a personal service, a business service, and you don't really need a lot of stuff on a website. After all, a website really is just a place where people go to verify that you're real and see your contact details and hopefully be able to find you online. Well, then this is what you would do. So for local businesses, this is a particularly handy way to do it. Perplexity is still over here gathering all its stuff. Now it's finally getting to build the application, the index.html file. So it'll come up very, very soon to do that. And it'll show us a preview like the other ones do as well. So Gemini's got a couple of layers, the pro version, the not pro version, ChatGPT. Once we put the images in, gave us a really nice looking web page. So that was pretty cool. I like what we did in there. Just by changing from a model, which is general for great for most things, to a model that's very good at coding and reasoning. O4 Mini High would be, again, probably a little bit better again. And if you go into other models like 4.5, which is only available to paid users and very limited for those paid users, and then things like 4.1 and 4.1 Mini, this is another higher level one, only available really to paid subscribers to ChatGPT. You can access that as well. So once we were all kind of educated in the thinking that these AI tools are really just all about us being able to, just checking back on Perplexity again, just building all those files. We're used to it, I guess, being something that we would do just to write with. And that's pretty much what most people have used all these AI tools for. But as you can see, you can build things in them as well. And if I have to go a little further to help you dream on a little bit more, there's kind of things I've been able to build in here is things like a personal brand app. This is an actual interactive app that I've been able to build in Gemini according to quite a lot of instructions backwards and forwards to build it. So I begin in there and I say, well, I'm the resident expert rather than a global superstar. Specialized expertise might be lawn mowing, lawn care in tropical locations. My target audience is homeowners, busy homeowners, let's call them, busy homeowners. Target audience for job roles, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to say homeowner because they're not really a job role. I'm not really targeting a business owner here. Have I got a controversial take? Why waste time on mowing your own lawn? So I know that when I used to have a lawn, I hated it. The tools I'm going to use, I'm going to do a bit of social media. I might do a bit of video. Oh, probably networking events, but I need to get better at networking. I need to get better at writing and probably better at public speaking too. And it's now going, okay, what have I actually got? I'm going to set up a landing page. Yeah, that'd be good. I don't really want to blog, enhance a website. Yeah, get a professional headshot. So these are all the steps that have created an interactive app doing the same thing. This can be a website of its own. I could take that code just the same way and insert it into the live internet and you'll be able to use that. In fact, I have done that at my website, clickstarter.com.au tools. And then I've actually got it live in here, inserted into this under the personal brand builder. Open the app and this familiar looking app will start popping up. There you go. That's right where it is. So it's already knows I've been in there and it's already done it and it's picked up because it uses a little cookie in the browser to tell me that I've used this before. Other tools I've been able to build using this, social media content planners, a free disc profile tool. So if you ever want to do disc profiling, if you know what that is, that's something you can do as well. So these are all just basically websites with functions built within them that do certain things that are very predictable, very repeatable. That's the same thing for web design. There's nothing particularly hard about web design when you can tell it in plain English what you want it to do. So that is us having built, deployed a website live on the internet within 30 minutes. In fact, we did it 3 times over and we could probably do it even more. We can add more details into that. We can put those pictures in. We can try different designs. And what it allows us to do is to build something quickly, deploy it quickly when you need a web hosting service. I'm using SiteGround, but I've used many others as well. GoDaddy's fine. Crazy Domains is not so fine. They're pretty crap actually. But GoDaddy's fine. SiteGround, Ventura IP is another service that's really good, but probably the easiest thing for you to do if this is something you want to sort of get a bit of a hand with is use the Digital Solutions Program with the Australian government through the Business Enterprise Centre NT. I'm now officially a provider on that, and you can get 3 hours of help and support with doing these kinds of things. So what I would do is Watch a few more of these webinars, get some ideas of the things you want to achieve over 3 hours. If we could do this kind of thing within, well, we did it within 13 minutes. We did our first one. So if we can deploy and design a basic website in 13 minutes, imagine what you can get done over 3 hours. So please do reach out to me through the Darwin Innovation Hub, probably by email, because I'm actually going to be away from tonight for about 10 days. Still working, just working remotely in Queensland. And yeah, we can have a chat about how you can take part in that and help to get some help with making this stuff very real for your business as well. So thank you so much. It's been a very, very quick one tonight. Hopefully you learned something. But more than that, I hope that you saw some possibilities there, something that you might be able to work with to bring forward your business without spending a fortune doing it. There's days when it used to cost $20,000 to build a basic website in Darwin, and that was only like 8 or 9 years ago. So you can do better on your own with these tools.